Is there any reason for us to be upset? Really? What good would it do? How beneficial would it be for me to come on here and yell like a raging lunatic? I would like to enjoy my Thursday afternoon. I would like to keep my blood pressure at normalized levels. Are we surprised about what we've seen today during WWE Super Showdown? Are we surprised by the outcome of what we've seen in the Universal Championship match between a 53-year-old Bill Goldberg and what could probably be a very subjective thing, what could probably be the best character that WWE has created for its television in the last decade, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt? Are we surprised? I went over every single situation that could possibly come out of all the variables, all the moving pieces going into WrestleMania. The one that I don't think anybody wanted to see actually happen. Of course, WWE went with the one that nobody wanted to legitimately see happen. You know what I'm thinking? Honestly, do you know what I'm thinking while I'm watching Bill Goldberg hold up the WWE Universal Championship at the end of a 3.5 hour, just complete dog shit of a show? Do you know what I'm thinking in that moment? All I'm thinking about is all the sleepless nights that Bray Wyatt had, all of the conversations that we heard from Bray Wyatt and his camp about ideas for the mask and the lantern and the funhouse, all the ideas for the gimmick and what the gimmick and the Fiend and the whole character was going to be portrayed as on television. All of the ideas, the concept, the sleepless nights, the execution, the storyline ideas that I'm sure he had written down in notebook after notebook after notebook. Do you want to know the one thing I was thinking about while Bill Goldberg was holding up the WWE Universal Championship at the end of Super Showdown today? I'm thinking that Bray Wyatt completely wasted his entire time. Bray Wyatt completely wasted his time, his livelihood, and I'm sure a whole lot of money to create what I said before could very well be the best character that the WWE has created in the last decade. That's what I thought of. I watched a man's creativity get flushed down the toilet tonight. I watched a man's vision be washed away for absolutely no reason. I watched a man's passion just go up in a ball of flame. For what? For what? A 53-year-old Bill Goldberg who does not give one single shit about this industry. And I don't give a shit who's listening to me. I don't care if you're Goldberg himself listening to me. I don't give a shit. Goldberg has given off this vibe over the last, I don't even know how many years, that he is a man that does not give a shit about professional wrestling. He doesn't give a shit about anybody in the industry. He doesn't give a shit about what type of matches he puts on. He doesn't give a shit about anything revolving around the words professional wrestling. And this is the man that Bray Wyatt had to fly to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia for on a 17-hour flight. And after a 6-month worthless and absolutely forgettable title reign, dropped the title and everything that came along with this gimmick to a 53-year-old Goldberg on this night. The Fiend is dead. The Fiend is dead. The one outcome that we did not want the WWE to go out there and give us is the outcome that they absolutely did give us. I don't understand. I really don't understand how, if you're Bill Goldberg and you're looking at this situation. Now, Bill Goldberg, I am sure, has a lot of pull. If Bill Goldberg did not want to do anything, then Bill Goldberg, I'm sure, would have spoke up and told Vince McMahon or the powers that be that he did not want to do a certain something. Okay? Sure, Bill Goldberg has a lot of very powerful friends in the WWE. Sure, Bill Goldberg, like I said, has a lot of creative freedom. Bill Goldberg has a lot of influence over whoever he comes across in WWE. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? On top of what I already feel bad about in regards to Bray Wyatt, can you imagine Bill Goldberg at 53 years old, who has done more than many people in this industry? He's done more with nothing in this industry compared to 99% of this roster that sits in the WWE locker room. Bill Goldberg has made a career off of nothing. Nothing. Bill Goldberg has made a career off of a spear and off of a jackhammer. That's it. Bill Goldberg made his career off of being WCW's version or WCW's answer to Stone Cold Steve Austin. The comparisons were there back during the Attitude Era. Two bald guys, two guys wearing plain black trunks, two badasses. He made his career off of nothing and accumulated a career that people would absolutely kill for in today's modern era. Can you imagine being Bill Goldberg walking into this Super Showdown show? Can you imagine being Bill Goldberg with the idea that you're fighting Bray Wyatt for the WWE Universal Championship? Can you imagine being Bill Goldberg and not going to WWE management and doing the right thing and saying, you know what, Vince, I don't think this is the right idea. I don't think this is the right idea. I don't think we should be jeopardizing the future of the company. I don't think we should be jeopardizing a man in Bray Wyatt who's given his fucking soul for this character. I don't think it's the right thing creatively to take the title off of him. I don't think it's right to bury the future of your company. You want me to win the Universal Championship and you want Bray Wyatt to lay down for me. Vince, I got to be honest with you. I don't think that's the right idea. I think you should restructure your plans for WrestleMania. Can you imagine being Bill Goldberg and not telling that to Vince McMahon? And then you, these fucking elitists, these fucking people who justify the WWE and all that they do, and the people who fucking slob all over the cock of WWE every single chance that they get, and in the eyes of these people, the company can do no wrong. Imagine being Bill Goldberg and not going to Vince McMahon and speaking up for the future of the company. And then these people want me to sit here and justify the outcome because it's a better WrestleMania match than what WWE had planned outside of this. It's a better WrestleMania plan than John Cena versus The Fiend for the Universal Championship. It's a better WrestleMania plan than John Cena versus Goldberg for a one-on-one match. It's a better plan than Roman Reigns and The Fiend at WrestleMania. Imagine being those people trying to justify this, thinking that Goldberg being the Universal Champion is the right thing. Imagine being Bill Goldberg and not doing the right thing. Bill Goldberg came off, in this instance, as one of the most selfish and unapologetic pro wrestlers I have ever seen in the history of me watching this sport tonight. This man has no business, at 53 years old, to be in the ring, taking a WrestleMania championship match away from somebody who has done everything possible to resurrect his career, a career that WWE had squandered for 6 years. You think it's easy to come back and reinvent yourself all over again and make yourself not only more popular the second time around, not only make yourself better the second time around, but be more creative than the first time that you had, and the endless amounts of creativity that WWE did not even tap into with the gimmick. Imagine that. Imagine what they threw away tonight, because Bill Goldberg was a selfish, unapologetic fucking individual tonight. There's no justifying Bill Goldberg as the Universal Champion. And you know what I'm going to say next. You know what I'm going to say next. I thought that John Cena versus Bray Wyatt for the Universal Championship was the best match that WWE could put on, because it told a better story. Now, there's a lot of people telling me that John Cena and Bray Wyatt doesn't need the Universal Championship because it's all about Bray Wyatt getting his win back against John Cena. A win that he should not even be chasing, because WWE fucked up then, and now they're trying to rectify all of this 6 years later. Some people are telling me that the championship doesn't need to be on the line in a John Cena Bray Wyatt match at WrestleMania. I'm here to tell you that the championship doesn't need to be on the line in a Roman Reigns Bill Goldberg match, because whatever you're telling me about John Cena and Bray Wyatt, I could tell you the same thing about Bill Goldberg and Roman Reigns. You got spear versus spear. That's the match. That's the match. Whereas Bray Wyatt needed this tonight more than Bill Goldberg ever needed anything in his entire career. Not only would it have gotten John Cena and the chase for 17 into the storyline, on top of Bray Wyatt getting his win back at WrestleMania, but it would have also given us a match that would have given us excitement and given us that unpredictability factor of John Cena maybe getting number 17. Maybe getting number 17. Here we have John Cena and Bray Wyatt now without the championship on the line, and Bill Goldberg versus Roman Reigns being an inevitability at WrestleMania. And you know why they're doing this match at WrestleMania. You know why they're doing this at WrestleMania. They're doing this because WWE was in a lose-lose situation with Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt. Their original plan. That original plan was never going to go off the way that they wanted. They were not going to walk into Tampa Bay and just give Roman Reigns the Universal Championship against Bray Wyatt. They gave Bill Goldberg the championship, now with the inevitability of him and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, because Bill Goldberg, at the end of today, is the most hated man in all of pro wrestling. He is now going to be vilified for being the one who killed the Fiend at Super Showdown. Now everybody is out, fans included, not just Reigns, fans included, worldwide, are now out for Bill Goldberg's head. And you could put me in the ring. I could beat Bill Goldberg and there'd be a standing ovation for Bill Goldberg losing that championship at WrestleMania. Roman Reigns and Bill Goldberg is going to do the one thing that WWE wants at WrestleMania. It's going to get Roman Reigns a championship at WrestleMania at the biggest show of the year, and it's going to go off exactly how they want. That would have never happened with Bray Wyatt as the Universal Champion. Bray Wyatt's title reign as Universal Champion may go down as one of the worst in company history. And I love the creative character that Bray Wyatt played as the Fiend. I love Wyndham Rotunda as a creative genius. I think he is very undervalued in this company. I think Wyndham Rotunda is one of those guys that WWE should be counting their blessings on having on their payroll. I really do. You don't find a guy like that. You don't find a guy that creative. You don't find a guy that invested in what he's doing just randomly. His title reign was one of the worst ever. That could have all been fixed. We could have been looking at Bray Wyatt in this title reign as one of the best for that Universal Championship. Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Goldberg, and then John Cena, like I had been pitching at WrestleMania. Not only would it have told the story of John Cena chasing number 17, not only would it have been the story of Bray Wyatt getting his win back, I would have been very interested, and it would have been very interesting to see how John Cena would have changed following a loss to Bray Wyatt. But it also would have solidified Bray Wyatt as the Universal Champion with a solid reign under his belt. Imagine that. Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan, Goldberg, and John Cena, and whoever else would have come after John Cena, leading to an inevitable loss to Roman Reigns. It's amazing how this company just squanders the future. Where does Bray Wyatt go from here now? Where does he go from here? He's going to be straddled in one-on-one matches that mean absolutely nothing. I don't give a shit about the gimmick anymore. The gimmick is dead to me. The appeal of everything that came with The Fiend is dead. Dead. Absolutely dead. I don't care about the character anymore. You might as well take the character off of TV. And something that a lot of people are not going to be mentioning is how Bray Wyatt looks to be a pushover. A complete pushover. This guy lasted inside a Hell in a Cell match and lasted in a Falls Count Anywhere match with Seth Rollins, where this guy was completely battered, beaten, and torn with every known weapon that Seth Rollins could find underneath that ring. This guy was blown up by fucking speakers in the electrical area at Crown Jewel. This guy took 67 different curb stomps, no matter where they occurred, on the concrete, in the ring. This guy was absolutely battered, beaten, and torn, and still rose up from the dead. Nobody's making this a point in their justification of this shit. And here we enter Saudi Arabia again at Super Showdown. He takes 4 spears. He applies 2 mandible claws, which Goldberg no-sold. And then he took a jackhammer, if you even want to call it that. And that was it. That was it. A lot of people might be thinking I'm going overboard with Bray Wyatt being dead. But the way that this match was structured and the way that this match played out on TV, 3 minutes, 4 spears, a jackhammer, and that was it. Bray Wyatt's career as the Fiend is dead. A win as just the Fiend, a win without the Universal Championship over John Cena means nothing. It means nothing. That Universal Championship was the defining factor of what separates Bray Wyatt now from Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 30. Now Bray Wyatt is walking into WrestleMania the same way he walked into WrestleMania 30. A fucking loser. An absolute loser. This is what I don't get. This is what I don't understand. And at the end of the day, the one thing, it took them a little bit to get there. It took them a little while to formulate a plan on how they want to go about this. But at the end of the day, it revolves around one thing, folks. It revolves around one thing that the company has been waiting on since he returned. They do it for Roman. There's no reason in getting upset. I've never, and it's tough. I seem like I always say it. I always say it every time that I am sitting down in front of a show like this and we get an outcome like this. This company is an embarrassment. This company is a joke. I don't understand why they don't embrace the future. The future of this company is what's going to carry this company into the next phase, the next 20 years. Guys like Bray Wyatt are going to take what they've done here and carry it into the future to hopefully make this company better when Vince McMahon is not there anymore. And what does WWE do? They take all of this, all of the youth, all of the future, all of the hope, and they apply all of this to the now without thinking ahead. They have squandered and absolutely flushed the future down the toilet for the now. How many more times are we going to have to sit through WWE living in the now? At some point, they're going to have to think about the future. How could you look at Bray Wyatt's character? How could you look at Bray Wyatt's character and not want to tap into that creative outlet? If this was the very best that you could come up with for Bray Wyatt, then I honestly do not think that people in that company creatively who work on the creative team, I do not think people making the decisions who are the higher ups of this company deserve to be in the positions that they currently sit in. They don't give a shit. They're just as bad as Bill Goldberg. They are selfish, and they are unapologetic, and they are reckless. They don't give a shit. How fucking dare you go about doing something like this, which in my eyes might be one of the worst creative blunders that this company has ever had in the history of World Wrestling Entertainment. I don't know what else you want me to say. I really don't know what else you want me to say about what we've seen here tonight. There's no point in me yelling. There's no point in me raging. There's no point in me being a raving lunatic like I was when Bray Wyatt won the Universal Championship at Crown Jewel in November. Because I know why they did it, and I wasn't giving them a pass on the fucking blunder they made in October. This, they're not getting a pass on. This is not getting a thumbs up of approval from me. And neither you. None of you should be giving this a thumbs up. And if you do, if you're one who is sitting here liking this outcome, you're a brain-dead idiot. You don't know how much negative this does for the company in the long term. What happens when Bill Goldberg loses the championship? He goes away. He doesn't come back until the next time WWE needs him for a $2 million payday in Saudi Arabia. That's someone that you want taking the title off of Bray Wyatt? That's someone you want as your Universal Champion, someone who doesn't give a shit about the future of this fucking company. Bill Goldberg is going to lose the title at WrestleMania. You know what he's going to do? He's going to go home and work on his fucking Mustangs. He's going to go work on his Corvettes. He's going to sit down with his son, laughing about the money, the easy money that he made in his return to the WWE, while accumulating another title reign that he does not deserve, while burying the future of the company, laughing, ha 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 ha. Look at me. I'm sitting on my throne. I'm the only one here that I give a shit about. I can't justify that behavior, man. I can't justify that. For everybody that shits on John Cena has put over a lot of different guys in his time in the WWE. It took him some time to get there, but WWE needed John Cena. John Cena was a money machine for WWE. They were going to continue pushing that top talent for house shows, selling out, pay-per-view buys, ratings, merchandise. John Cena merchandise flying off the shelf wherever they went. Then it got to a point where they didn't need John Cena anymore. John Cena got a little older. John Cena was transitioning into Hollywood. And then he started putting people over. John Cena started doing what he always should have been doing. You never seen John Cena come in and say, you know what, every time I'm back, I'm gonna put myself in a winning position. I'm gonna give myself championships and I'm gonna bury top tier talent. This is what Bill Goldberg didn't do. 53 years old. And Bill Goldberg is still putting himself over. A fucking disgrace. This company is an absolute fucking disgrace. My buddy Jesse texted me. This is what he said about it. He didn't even watch the show. He did not even watch the show because he knew, A, he can't stand these Saudi shows and what they stand for, and B, he knew WWE was going to give us some bullshit today. This is the last thing that he sent me when I screenshotted a picture of my TV and Bill Goldberg was holding up the Universal Championship. This is what he said. I told him, dude, Goldberg even no-sold the mandible claw today. He says this in return. See? I didn't even know that. I'd fucking feel better if that piece of shit Hogan would have beaten Wyatt. At least he loves the business and has dedicated his life to it. It'd be stupid, but at least an argument could be made about Hogan deserving it or not. What the fuck has Goldberg done? Goldberg killed Bray Wyatt on February 27th, 2020. That's all I got to say on the main event. Not talking about it anymore. WWE, at the end of the day, they come right back to what their agenda was in the first place all along. They do it for Roman. They do it for Roman. Goldberg's going to show up on SmackDown probably tomorrow, and he's going to get booed out of the fucking building. And how stupid is it going to look if Bray Wyatt transitions away from Goldberg, not giving a shit about the Universal Championship, and then transitions right over to John Cena in the build for WrestleMania? How stupid is that going to look? Honestly. Whoever's in charge of this company, man, whoever's making these decisions, they clearly don't have the they clearly don't have the best interests of the fans at heart. Goldberg versus Roman Reigns is a joke of a WrestleMania match. It's a joke of a WrestleMania match. Why am I interested in that? Why? What does that do? Oh, Roman Reigns beats a 53-year-old Bill Goldberg. Great. Great. You don't think if Bray Wyatt walked into WrestleMania as the Universal Champion, beat John Cena, and then walked into SummerSlam, giving him another couple of months as Universal Champion, you don't think that would have been better off for not only Bray, but maybe for Roman to take down Bray Wyatt? We all knew it was coming. Deal with the fucking consequences, WWE. Deal with the fucking consequences. Roman's never gonna be what you want him to be. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. Let things naturally be. Here you are changing the fucking game, ruining your future every single chance you got. For what? This company sucks. The company's a fucking joke. Anyway, there was an actual show tonight. Good? No. Some of the matches were decent. But at the end of the day, this was all revolving around Bray Wyatt and Goldberg. And they did not get that right, which makes everything before it a complete waste of time. Because that's all anybody's going to be talking about. If WWE had Bill Goldberg win, or lose this match rather, if Bray Wyatt won this match, then everybody would have been talking about, oh, the SmackDown Tag Team title match was decent. Oh, the Monday Night Raw Tag Team title was decent. Oh, Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo put on a decent match. Oh, look, Mansoor and Dolph Ziggler, blah, blah, blah. Everybody would have been talking about whatever else happened on the show. Now they won't. Now they won't. This decision even overshadows the return of The Undertaker for WrestleMania season. That's how bad it is. How many people can you honestly say overshadow the fucking Undertaker? Not many. This did, for being one of the worst creative decisions in the history of this company. Obviously, you're watching Off the Script. I'm JD. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this very doom and gloom Thursday afternoon. Make sure you follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That is on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you guys for tweeting along with me. Everybody got wind of the outcome, and my social media is continuing to blow up. At last glance, let's check. At last glance, all I put on Twitter was the Fiend is dead. How many tweets it got? How many retweets it got? This motherfucking tweet got over 1,000 likes. 1,000 likes in about 30 minutes. 241 retweets. People are going crazy. Crazy. And then I put out another tweet, exactly what I went over in the beginning of the show. I don't give a shit who you are or what your opinion is. There is no way you can justify what we've seen. Imagine being Bray Wyatt, concept for this entire character, the hours, the ideas, the creation, the execution, loses to a 53-year-old Goldberg in 3 minutes. 2,000 likes in 40 minutes. You think I'm the only one sitting here in the entire IWC who is sick to his stomach over this shit? Go look at Twitter. WWE had done fucked up. And they only did this today to appease their own agenda. So Twitter was the place to be today. Thank you guys so much for tweeting along with me at JD from NY206 on Twitter and Instagram. If you guys missed my AEW Dynamite review from last night, Kenny Omega and Pac had an unbelievable 30-minute Iron Man match. We go over it in full detail. The AEW Revolution go-home show was a success. Make sure you guys go and check that out. Links for that and the Monday Night Raw review will be down below in the description of this very video. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Off the Script episode 315, where I am sure there's going to be a plethora of news about Super Showdown or the aftermath of Super Showdown. And I'm thinking about Saturday, I'll have all that news compiled into one video. So make sure you guys are aware of what's going on the channel. Hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for all notifications. And if you guys want to support the podcast via Patreon, you guys know how to certainly do that. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. So the open of the show scene, the Tuwaiq Gauntlet match for the prestigious Tuwaiq trophy. I don't know how something could be prestigious if it is something that was just created and just created for this show alone, really. So I don't know how you can come off, or I don't know how WWE could come off and say that this is prestigious. How the fuck is it prestigious when it hasn't been defended or held up by anybody or coddled by anybody like a fucking $5 hooker? Seriously. Or am I losing my mind? I don't understand this company. The Tuwaiq Gauntlet match for the prestigious trophy. R-Truth, Bobby Lashley, Andrade, Erick, Rowan, AJ Styles, and Rey Mysterio. So I had conducted a live stream on Wednesday afternoon, and I predicted that R-Truth and Bobby Lashley would start the match. And I was correct. And I said that AJ Styles and Rey Mysterio would probably be the last two guys in this Tuwaiq Gauntlet match. I was kind of correct. So R-Truth came out first, and he pinned Bobby Lashley after 6 minutes. Lashley executed a pin attempt, and I believe Truth lucked into a 3 count by rolling Lashley up because he went shoulder first into the ring post, and then Truth rolled him up. So that was pretty much it. So Truth lucked into a 3 count, and Bobby Lashley continues to be a loser. Imagine being told, if you're Bobby Lashley, yeah, we're going to put you in this storyline with Lana and Rusev, and you're going to be so much more over for it. You're going to be a dastardly heel. Bobby Lashley is dead in the water once again. He's right back to being completely irrelevant on WWE TV. Bobby Lashley should be in contention for a match with Brock Lesnar. Honestly. I don't really understand why Bobby Lashley was thrown into this match if his end goal was to take a loss to R-Truth. They could have easily booked Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar on this show and really made it a spectacle. But they didn't do that. They opted to fuck this guy over again, and they opted to continue pushing this guy as a fucking loser on WWE TV. R-Truth wins, and I wasn't surprised that R-Truth lasted as long in this match because, conveniently, he had a 24 special on the WWE Network as soon as the show was over. So there you go. WWE, again, doing their best at following an agenda. Oh, R-Truth has a documentary on the WWE Network. Let's push him and really make him shine in this Gauntlet match. Not saying that Truth doesn't deserve it. Everybody loves R-Truth. But Bobby Lashley, man, I don't want to hate on Bobby Lashley. The guy has had an absolute disaster of a second run in WWE to a point where if he was having a contract about to expire, I don't know what would possess this guy to re-sign a contract and stay with the WWE. The only reason why he came back was a match for Brock Lesnar, and he still has not gotten that match, or even close to getting that match. What a joke. Andrade came out next without Zelina Vega, which was surprising. Actually, I'm not surprised by that because Aleister Black is not there. He didn't make the trip, so I guess out of respect, Zelina Vega didn't make the trip because her husband wasn't making the trip. Not like Andrade really needed her out there anyway. Andrade was embarrassed regardless. So Andrade, he dominated Truth. In the end, Andrade went for a spinning elbow, but instead of doing that vicious back elbow that he does, he butted heads with Truth, and Truth literally fell on top of Andrade. Andrade holding his head. Truth pins Andrade 1, 2, 3. So he beats Lashley and Andrade in this Tuwaiq Gauntlet match. 11 minutes in, he's pinned Bobby Lashley and Andrade Cien Almas. Andrade, who, by the way, is still the United States champion on Monday Night Raw. Now, I don't know what that means. I would have suspected that Andrade would at least go up until Rey Mysterio, and then Rey Mysterio beats Andrade, and then Rey Mysterio and Styles battle it out in what I had booked perfectly on the live stream for this 2-8 Gauntlet match. Andrade loses. Now, I don't know if this is WWE punishing him and embarrassing him for his wellness suspension. I don't know if this is really doom and gloom for his United States title reign now. I don't know. I do not envision Andrade walking out of WrestleMania as the United States champion. That is either going to Humberto at WrestleMania. I would imagine Humberto continues to lose. Maybe they're saving that big win for him at WrestleMania. I don't know. But I don't think Andrade should really be buried or punished because of a wellness policy violation. We don't even know what the fuck he was suspended for. We don't. So this means Andrade is undoubtedly losing that championship sooner rather than later. Doesn't spell good things for his title reign on Monday Night Raw. Andrade loses to R-Truth. Erick Rowan He loses to R-Truth, and Rowan got himself disqualified because Rowan was thrown, or he threw Truth, rather, into the steel steps on the outside because Truth was hurt. Truth's elbow and arm and shoulder were all fucked up. He was taking a beating. He was like the sympathetic, real, true, blue blood baby face in this thing. So Erick Rowan throws R-Truth into the steel steps, the cage, or whatever the fuck's in that sack, which we still don't know. I don't even know if WWE knows what's in that fucking thing. Still, after all these months, we don't have a reason or an answer for what the fucking cage means or symbolizes or what's in the cage. But the cage falls over like it did on Monday Night Raw. And he picks up the steps and nails R-Truth with the steps and gets himself disqualified in 2 minutes. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Do you know how stupid, idiotic, and ridiculous Erick Rowan looks? It's as if he looks like a bumbling fool. It looks like he's a big oaf with no brain. They went over the rules of the match before the match started. Why do you constantly make your fucking talent look stupid? I'm not a fan of Erick Rowan, but my God! Have these guys go out there and maybe, I don't know, have them be a little bright. This guy calls himself a professional wrestler. Maybe he needs to go take a entry class or an introductory class on pro wrestling. You pick up an illegal object in a one-on-one match, you will lose the match by disqualification. Give me a break. The fuck did he fly out to Saudi Arabia for 17 hours to enter this gauntlet match, which he never had a chance of winning anyway, get disqualified, look like a fucking idiot, and goodbye. Gone in 2 minutes. I don't really understand the logic. Seriously. Now, this is not going to matter to the fucking idiot sitting over there, but I watch this and I'm like, why? Why? Does this guy not have a bigger brain? Did he not listen to Mike Rome go over the introduction while he was sitting in the fucking back? Stupid. Absolutely stupid. AJ Styles comes out. He's number 4. AJ Styles comes out. He received a big pop, big pomp and fucking circumstance here with his intro. Styles obviously was toying with Truth because he knew Truth couldn't stand. He knew Truth couldn't throw a punch. He mocked Truth's dancing. He applied the calf crusher and Styles wins via tap out. That's all that was. 3 minutes. It took 3 minutes for AJ Styles to dispatch of R-Truth. So Rey Mysterio was obviously the last one to come out. Imagine being Rey Mysterio. I'm being told, you got to fly to Saudi Arabia, and we're going to put you in the gauntlet match, and then the day of, they come up with the script for the match, and you flew all the way out there to not be in the match. Imagine that. But he's getting paid handsomely, I'm sure. I'm sure. So Rey Mysterio was scheduled to come out next, but his music played, he didn't come out. His music played again, he didn't come out. And then we see Gallows and Anderson stomping away at Rey Mysterio. Some of the fans there were actually smart to the idea of The Undertaker with chants of Undertaker. Styles grabbed the microphone. He said it looked like little Rey wouldn't be getting up. He told the ref he was the winner by forfeit and asked the referee to raise his arm. The ref refused. The ref talked with Mike Rome. Obviously, the decision was made that if the next one to come out, or AJ Styles' opponent, Rey Mysterio, I'm guessing in this instance, could not make it to the ring by the count of 10, then AJ Styles would win the match. Not really fair, in my eyes. Another big logic gap here with WWE. AJ Styles purposely had his goons attack Rey Mysterio. In my eyes, now I might be overthinking this a little bit, shouldn't that constitute as a disqualification? I guess in WWE world, it didn't exist in this instance. So they went back to the big screen, and Anderson and Gallows was already on the floor. Carl Anderson comes flying in. It's like Uncle Phil throwing fucking DJ Jazzy Jeff out of the fucking big mansion on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's exactly what I envisioned when I seen Carl Anderson just fly across the screen. Then, in what I thought was a very cool visual, The Undertaker walks. You knew it was The Undertaker because he was wearing a big trench coat, and you seen his boots and the bottom of his trench coat. You seen the bottom of his trench coat come into frame, and he walks off. So clearly everybody knew it was The Undertaker. Big, massive pop here in Saudi Arabia. And The Undertaker comes out. His entrance was about 18 minutes long, and then he got in the ring. He walked right by the trophy. He didn't give one shit about the trophy. And I'm thinking to myself, are they really doing this match now? Are we going to see Styles and The Undertaker now for the Tuwaiq trophy? Undertaker gets in the ring. Styles got in Taker's face. He poked his chest with his finger, and then he choke slammed Styles, and that was it. Undertaker did not take his coat off. Undertaker did not take his hat off. He chokeslammed Styles, still in full wardrobe, pinned him with his hat and his robe, or his trench coat, on, and he wins the Tuwaiq Trophy Gauntlet match in 1 minute by pinning AJ Styles. Now, this match was terrible, number one. I don't know what the fuck I watched for 45 minutes. But The Undertaker gets out of the ring, walks by the trophy, does not give a single shit about the trophy whatsoever, and that was it. Undertaker bids farewell to Saudi Arabia. The easiest payday in the history of The Undertaker's 30 years in this company. That's what this was. But I have something to tell you guys on top of that. I don't know if AJ Styles' comments about him being the best superstar of any generation or any era. I am not sure if what he said on Raw a couple of weeks ago was to build up this instance. I'm not sure if that was done for today. And then we go on with The Undertaker doing something else at WrestleMania, and we go on to do AJ Styles at WrestleMania against somebody else. I don't know. I don't know if both guys are going on their separate paths going into WrestleMania. Or this could be used in the fuel for this storyline now, that AJ Styles is robbed of the Tuwaiq trophy. The Undertaker was not even in the match. Maybe they have a match at WrestleMania over the Tuwaiq trophy. If that is the case, why would anyone want to see AJ Styles and The Undertaker at WrestleMania after a fresh AJ Styles was put down by one chokeslam? Chokeslam. It wasn't even a tombstone. It was a chokeslam. It wasn't even a last ride. It was a chokeslam. Why would anybody want to see AJ Styles versus The Undertaker if AJ was beaten 1 minute to look like a fucking fool? I know I don't. I know you guys don't want to see it either. Oh, but this is a story. They're laying the foundation for the story. Blow me. Blow me. AJ Styles lost to The Undertaker in one move when he was fresh. What makes you think that I would be interested at all in seeing a fresh AJ Styles against The Undertaker now for a second time at WrestleMania? And here we have WWE again having a match I'm not interested in, but Jesus fucking Christ, save the appeal of a showdown between Styles and The Undertaker for Raw. Why did you waste that image on this worthless fucking match? I don't complain to complain. I complain because this company never does anything with epic in mind. They never do anything on a grander scale. They always want to pop the crowd in the now. Stop with the in the now. Start booking for the fucking future. Please. Please. This was a complete waste of everybody's time. Everybody's time was wasted here. The New Day, Big E and Kofi Kingston versus Miz and John Morrison for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Miz and Morrison came out to fireworks. Who gives a shit? Everybody came out to fucking fireworks on this night. Really. Even fucking Mansoor had fireworks. Who else had fireworks? That was worthless. Who else had I'm sorry, everybody had fireworks tonight. Who? Humberto had fireworks. Humberto Carrillo had fireworks. What were the fireworks for? Did he finish his fucking meal like a good little boy in catering? The fuck did he need celebratory fireworks for? Who the fuck is he? He's got more losses than wins on his fucking record. He's got more L's in his fucking in his record than he does in his fucking name. Letters in his name. Humberto. Give me a fucking break with this guy. Miz and Morrison came out. New Day cut a promo. Big E said something about A Dutch oven? I wasn't even paying attention. Please. The fucking sexual toilet humor. Cringe. So, the heels got in some offense here. Kofi went for a big splash off the ring apron. Miz moved and Kofi... I don't know what the fuck happened here. Kofi went for a dive over the top rope. Miz moved out of the way. He was on the outside. Kofi splashed back first on the concrete. It was almost as bad as Pac doing a Falcon Arrow off the ring apron to Kenny Omega on Dynamite last night. That's how bad this looked. They showed it in slow motion. You see the ripple effect of the slow motion of the impact just reverberating through Kofi Kingston's body. It looked bad. Hopefully he's all right. Back in the ring, Miz landed a skull-crushing finale on Big E for a near fall. In the end, Morrison hit Kofi with a chair behind the referee's back. Miz rolled him up, being the legal man for the 3 count. And we got Miz and Morrison as the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Not a bad match. I actually enjoyed the interactions between Morrison and Kofi Kingston, no question. The match itself wasn't bad, but again, like I mentioned on the live stream, I didn't think that the New Day were going to lose the tag team titles. Here we are, with Miz and Morrison now as tag team champions. There's no doubt in my mind we're going to get a triple threat or a 4-way at WrestleMania with Miz and Morrison, the New Day. The Usos are going to be involved. They might throw the Revival in there, being that they're the only other tag team on the show. I don't know. SmackDown Tag Team Division is completely irrelevant to me. It is so fucking boring. It is ridiculous. There's no excitement. It's the same fucking teams over and over and over again. And one of those teams is going to go on to greener pastures. No question. Miz and Morrison win the tag team titles. Who cares? That's what my initial thought here was. Who cares? Angel Garza versus Humberto Carrillo. Garza came out first. Garza is a beast. Garza is listen, talk about the future of the company. This guy's the future of the company. I don't know how many times I got to tell you. How many times I have to reiterate that? Garza is fucking phenomenal at what he does. I want to see more of Angel Garza. Not against Humberto. I think we've already played this shit out. This is like 3 times already. Please. Creative. What are you doing? Can you do something? And they're going to be back in the ring on Monday. They're going to be back in the ring on Monday. How about this? How about Angel Garza wins the United States Championship at WrestleMania in a 4-way between him and Humberto and Andrade and Rey Mysterio? That's what I would like to see happen. I honestly think out of everybody on this show and in this angle, he's looking the best. And in my eyes and in my mentality, you give the title who's been performing the best. And then you have Zelina Vega manage Angel Garza instead of Andrade. Maybe Andrade would go better as a babyface. I don't know. But then that scares the shit out of me because he doesn't really speak English all that well. And he needs a mouthpiece. So, I don't know, man. We're in a conundrum here with the United States Championship because, like I said, he's inevitably losing that championship. Anybody but Humberto Carrillo. So, I didn't really take notes on this because I just wanted to enjoy the match because I enjoyed what they did on Monday night. But it was worse than what we got on Monday. And a lot of the same spots that we seen on Monday were done here. So there really wasn't anything new. This match gave off a vibe of, yeah, these 2 guys can really work. But this match was just there to exist on a card that really wasn't going to give anything to these 2 guys in the ring. Nobody gives a shit about this match at the end of the show. Nobody's going to go back and watch Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo at Super Showdown. This was literally the same match just to get this match on a show to fill out the rest of this card, to flesh out the rest of this card. That's all this was. This means nothing. And again, I struggle to find any reason to care about Humberto Carrillo. Angel Garza has shown up in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and has done more in 4 weeks than Humberto has done in 7 months on this show. How is that even possible? How is that even possible? You either have it or you don't. Garza has it plus some. Humberto, talented he may be, but he doesn't got it. He doesn't got it. Speaking of a mouthpiece, I think Humberto needs a fucking mouthpiece. Angel Garza wins, and that was it. So we got Garza, and the 3 count came from a sit down on a sunset flip attempt. He didn't even win with the Angel's Wings. Or the Wing Clipper. I like Angel's Wings better. I don't know why he calls it the Wing. I guess I understand why he calls it the Wing Clipper, but Angel's Wings sounds a lot better to me. I don't know. Saxton interviewed Bayley, who said tonight is about making history and beating Naomi. She said she will prove to the entire WWE universe again that she is the most dominant women's champion that SmackDown has ever seen. Okay, great. Is Bayley really the most dominant champion that SmackDown has ever seen? I don't know about that. I don't know, over Charlotte Flair? Yeah, in WWE's eyes, you'll always be second best, honey. You'll always be second best. But at least you got better assets than Charlotte Flair. That's all I'll say. Seth Rollins and Murphy, Buddy Murphy, versus the Street Profits, Monday Night Raw Tag Team title match. I'm still trying to find, look at this guy. Look at this guy calling me here. Ticket Drew's calling me. Bro, I'm recording. My buddy Ticket Drew's probably calling me to rip me a new one on the fucking Goldberg nonsense. Seth Rollins and Murphy versus the Street Profits for the Monday Night Raw Tag Team title. Listen, I'm still trying to figure out why the Street Profits are even in a tag team title match. They did nothing but save Kevin Owens and the Vikings from a beatdown from Rollins and his ministry. They come out and save the day, and then poof, they're granted tag team title matches. Awesome. I wish I could go about doing that. Imagine showing up to work and literally being the laziest guy in the fucking office, and your boss approaches you, pulls you to the back, and says, JD, I'm going to give you a raise by 50% because you're such an enthusiastic worker. I wish that would happen to me. That never happened to me once in my entire life. Here the Street Profits come and do literally nothing, and they get bestowed a tag team title opportunity. Awesome. This match wasn't bad. I wasn't overly excited about it to begin with. Rollins and Murphy win in 11 minutes. And the end came when Dawkins took a running leap off the apron, tackled Seth and Murphy back in the ring. Seth gave Dawkins a stomp on the ring apron as Murphy distracted the ref, and then Murphy made the cover for the win. There was no way anybody was going into the show thinking that Rollins and Murphy were going to lose the tag team titles. In fact, Rollins and Murphy are going to walk into WrestleMania with the tag team titles and hopefully, per storyline, because that's the only thing that makes sense, drop them to Kevin Owens and a returning Samoa Joe from his wellness suspension. Because that's the only thing that makes sense. They teamed up. They teamed up together to take out the ministry, and then they could be tag team champions, and then we see a deterioration of Owens and Joe. And then Owens could be the babyface that he needs to be, and then Joe could be a dick and a heel like we all know he could play, and he could betray Kevin Owens. And I think that would be great. I think that would be great on Monday Night Raw. Rollins and Murphy win in 11 minutes. Not overly exciting with a very predictable outcome. Dolph Ziggler versus Mansoor was the, I guess, fundamental or rudimentary match for Mansoor here on Super Showdown. The cliche match for Mansoor being that he's from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. This was the worst of the matches that Mansoor has had at the Super Showdown shows. He won that Battle Royal. He had a fantastic match with Cesaro. And I figured that he would have just as good of a match with Dolph Ziggler. And this one ended up being fucking boring. This was very unenthusiastic. This was very uninspired. And that's what happens when Dolph Ziggler is in the ring. Nobody gives a shit about Dolph Ziggler. His stock right now in WWE is barely a thing. And the only reason why it's a thing is because everybody wants to see Otis beat the living shit out of this guy for taking Mandy Rose away from him on Valentine's Day. WWE's got money in that storyline if they really want it. So that's the only reason why Dolph is still hanging around, the only reason why people legitimately give any reason to care about Dolph Ziggler. They want to see him get his ass kicked by Otis. Mansoor wins. Of course, he's not going to lose in his hometown, even though WWE has a thing for having people lose in their hometown, a.k.a. Bayley. More than likely, it's always Bayley losing in her hometown, especially when she was a babyface. Ziggler was in control the majority of this match. Ziggler knocked Mansoor off the top rope. His leg got caught. He dangled upside down. Ziggler hit a zigzag for a near fall. Cole said he couldn't believe it. Ziggler telegraphed his super kick by stomping the mat, which he's still doing, and he thinks we still get all excited about him trying to emulate Shawn Michaels. Give me a break. Mansoor ducked. Ziggler scored a 2 count with a small package. Seconds later, Mansoor landed an inverted sliced bread into a DDT for a near fall. Mansoor climbed the top rope again, and this time landed a moonsault for the win. And he didn't get all the moonsault because Dolph Ziggler was legitimately positioned in the middle of the ring. He got all knees, but I'll tell you what, it was still better than a Charlotte Flair moonsault. Mansoor, will you teach me how to do a moonsault? I need to acquire the abilities to do a moonsault. Hey, honey, give up the moonsault and go with the Spanish fly. How many fucking times I gotta tell you? I'll be your Arn Anderson, okay? You know, Cody with Arn Anderson, right? He's the coach. I'll coach you. Go up top and fuck the moonsault. Go and do the Spanish fly. You'll look a lot better off for it, and then you'll be, I guess, not a victim of my tweets every time it happens. That's worth its price of admission alone. Mansoor wins. Who gives a shit? Mansoor's got a nice little streak going for himself. He's got this Undertaker-like streak at these Super Showdown Crown Jewel shows. How long before WWE starts playing that up on TV? Oh, Mansoor's undefeated at Super Showdown. Oh, Mansoor's undefeated at Crown Jewel. I'd like to see more of Mansoor on NXT. Why isn't this guy on TV? Why is he only showing up 2 times a year during these fucking glorified house shows? I don't know. A video feature aired on Ricochet, and he said, you know, why not me? Why not you? What have you done to earn the championship match, Rick O'Shea? What did you do, bro? And why not you? Bro, I don't want my WWE champion to be wearing girly shorts in a match for the WWE championship against Brock Lesnar. The fuck was he wearing? Seriously. Bro, back to the leather pants, please. I know Casey's probably watching at home, getting all hot and bothered, watching you strut around in your fucking pajamas. But, I mean, Jesus Christ. What were you wearing? Back to the old Ricochet. If he's not dressing as some fucking superhero, he's dressing in sleepwear. I don't want my champion looking like that. We already had a fucking champion chucking pancakes into the crowd. We don't need somebody like you wearing that as the WWE champion. He talked about this being his one shot. One shot? Bro, you got no shots. No shots. You're 0 for 10 at the free throw line, bro. Go back to the bench. He wants to make history and headline. He wants to make history and headline WrestleMania. Am I reading this correctly? Oh my God, bro! Has Dolph Ziggler been giving you comedy lessons? Are you going to be his opening act next week? Headline WrestleMania. Oh, man. Anyway. Ricochet made his entrance. He looked nervous. He looked like he wanted to cry. And then, obviously, the commentary team was promoting the fact that all he needs is one big move, and he could pull off a surprise victory. So Heyman said the winner of this match goes on to face Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. He said this is a spoiler and then declared Lesnar the winner before the match. If Ricochet was gifted this option, you could take this and walk away now or get your ass beat. I would have gladly taken Heyman and taken him up on his offer and just declare Brock Lesnar the winner. I would have said, Brock, you win, bro. I'm going back with my boy shorts and, Casey sexual texts telling me how hot I look. And I'll take my fucking losses here. Goodbye. So, he said this is a spoiler and then declared Lesnar the winner before the match. Ricochet went for a dropkick and Lesnar swatted him away like a little bitch. And then we get German suplex. I think it was 4 German suplexes. Welcome to Suplex City. Not Lesnar said. Cole said it. Thank you, Cole, for allowing me to understand where we are right now in Suplex City. Is there a fire going on? Because I got marshmallows I like to burn while watching this carnage. So, Cole said Ricochet said Lesnar better take him seriously. Cole said Ricochet said Lesnar needs to take him seriously. Really? Why do we need to take Ricochet seriously? Give me a break, bro. The only thing that Ricochet is taking seriously is the type of utensils he's using in catering. He doesn't like that plastic fork and knife bullshit. He doesn't like the sporks. He wants metal. He wants steel. They break too easy. You know, sometimes he's got a tough piece of steak. You know, Titus had flank steak, I heard today. It wasn't too well cooked. And Ricochet tried to cut into that with some plastic utensils, bro. He broke his fork and he was very upset. So he came out before his Lesnar match. He had tears in his eyes because he couldn't taste Titus's flank steak. I heard it was very well seasoned. But then he got to the back after 90 seconds, after losing here. And Titus had a whole new flank steak come out of the fucking broiler. That's all. Ricochet was good to go, bro. Had a nice meal, got on a plane back to the United States, and he'll be back in catering on Monday. There you go. 4 German suplexes, 5 German suplexes. I lost count. The one thing that Ricochet did here, the one thing that Ricochet did do well here, was he sold an F5. Bounced off the mat like a fucking tennis ball. Goodbye. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, Lesnar wins. This was a direct statement to Drew McIntyre, just like this was a direct statement from WWE to Ricochet that you will never be anything under our banner. Loser. Go join Humberto in the alphabet under the letter L. Loser. 1 minute. 1 minute. And I ask again why this was even necessary on this show. Just as quick as Lesnar won, he's back on a fucking private jet with Paul Heyman back to the States. Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns, cage match. This one went 13 minutes. Was it better than Cody versus Wardlow? The answer is no. The answer is no. This match sucked. I'm going to be completely honest with you, man. I swear on my grandfather's tomb, if I looked up from my phone on one occasion, I'd be lying to you. I was in my phone like this. I was in my phone like that. I genuinely... Why would I care about this, Bruce? Why would I care about this? The funniest thing during this match was Michael Cole said that Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin have had a classic feud on SmackDown Live. Classic. I'd love to know who the fuck slipped something into Michael Cole's drink. Classic? It's classic garbage. It's classic trash. I don't know if I'd use the word classic with anything that goes along with Baron fucking Corbin. Are you fucking serious? This is classic to Bruce. Bruce got a classic hard-on in Gorilla watching these two in the ring because this is his version of a porno. This is his version of a fucking Lisa Ann and Johnny Sins porno. Bruce. I mean that wholeheartedly. And then WWE says, and the feud is finally over. This is the last time that these two will be in the ring. The last time when? For the month of February? These two will be in the Elimination Chamber next Sunday. So I look forward very much to letting everybody on Twitter know that I thought this was the last time that Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin were going to be in the ring together. I can't wait. Can't wait to see how WWE lies to everybody once again. So apparently Reigns locked the cage door. Corbin attacked him. Corbin took control early. He tried to unlock the door to the cage because he went into Roman Reigns' pocket and took the key out. Corbin hit Reigns and then told the ringside ref to open the door. Corbin tried to escape. Reigns pulled the door into his face. He went for a Superman punch, but Corbin countered with a chokeslam for a near fall. Corbin wrapped his fist with the chain that holds the cage door closed. Reigns gave him a Superman punch. They climbed to the top of the cage. And I didn't expect any moonsaults from Baron Corbin because he's not that athletic of an individual. They were on top of the cage for a while. In the end, Reigns landed a Superman punch with the chain wrapped around his fist. And I wish he'd do that to Bruce Pritchard. And Roman Reigns wins in 13 minutes. absolutely garbage. And this is one of 3 steel cage matches that we will see in the next week on WWE TV. One with Dakota Kai and Tegan Nox, and the other one with Velveteen Dream and Roderick Strong. Guess it's the season for steel cage matches in WWE. Bayley versus Naomi, SmackDown Women's title match, 11 minutes. Again, I didn't really give a shit about this because I knew what the outcome was going to be. They teased that Naomi might be going to win the championship, but she went up for her split-legged moonsault. Bayley moved. Bayley then trapped Naomi's legs in her oversized shirt because they came out obviously not dressed as we usually see them on SmackDown, with their ass hanging out and their tits hanging out. They had these big oversized t-shirts on, and Bayley pulled Naomi's leg and trapped her leg inside this oversized t-shirt, which was smart, to be honest with you. Took advantage of the shirt that you had to wear to perform in this country. So she then wrapped her legs in the oversized shirt, slammed her face into the mat for the win, and that was it. That was it. Bayley wins 1, 2, 3, and the Saudi Arabian dress code gives Bayley the assist. The assist in retaining the title. Now we could see Lacey Evans say that she's going to win the Elimination Chamber on Sunday night. Not this Sunday, the next Sunday. And then we could all vomit together as a woeful community. And then the Fiend versus Goldberg, and that was it. I talked about this shit for 30 minutes. I don't need to talk about it anymore. I'm getting the fuck out of here, man. This show was garbage. Another way, this is the same old shit. Nothing new here. Nothing new here. But this is your Super Showdown review. 2,300 likes right now on my tweet. And the Fiend is dead tweet is at 1.2. I guess everybody liked my second tweet, but there you go. Majority of the people are agreeing with me. I'm sure there's some trolls in the comments. I don't give a shit. You are a bunch of losers. You mean nothing to me. Whoever justifies this outcome is a complete buffoon. That's all I gotta say on that. This show sucked. Goldberg sucks. WWE sucks. WrestleMania sucks. They do it for Roman. That's pretty much it. Guys, I'm getting out of here. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you right back here on Friday with Off the Scripts. Should be another banger of an episode 315, as we head into this very big and important weekend for pro wrestling. AEW Revolution on Saturday night. See you guys then. Hit that thumbs up, man. Don't leave the video without hitting that thumbs up. I'm telling you right now. Otherwise, Goldberg is going to have a double-length reign compared to Bray Wyatt with the Universal Championship, and nobody wants that now, do you? I don't know. Will Roman Reigns evolve? Who the fuck knows? I'll see you guys later.